the stream is live now. So if you're watching the video of this later, I'm going to just be charting a new song. So this is also kind of going to be a lesson on how to chart songs if you've never done it. So this software is called Moonscraper. It's pretty easy to find and download. And so to get started, this is what it looks like when you first open up the program. So we're just going to do File, New. I mean, there was nothing there. The song I'm going to be doing is called, let's see, The Secret Mirror by Rainbow Dragon Eyes. So yeah, you just fill out all the information that you want to show up in game. What year was this made? (2014). Difficulty, I don't really know what you're supposed to put there. Actually, this is just... So, you're going to want to load up the... You just need an audio file. So, I'm going to go to my... I created a new folder already, so The Secret Mirror. And so there you go. There you have the audio track put into the game. So one of the things, so I don't know what the BPM is for this. So I'm going to go to the BPM calculator. It brings this thing up. And so yeah, you just tap the space bar with this along with the song. So yeah, it looks like this song is at 170 BPM. So you'll go over to the metronome and just change that to... Oh yeah, you can't see that. Let me just move myself out of the way. I don't think anything will ever really show up right there, so... Okay, so yeah, you'll just switch that to 170. Now let's see if that matches up with... 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, that's already perfect. So the nice thing about charting songs that are like electronic or made in like an electronic thing rather than being really recorded is that things are very easy to line up with the beat on these. So now all I gotta do is get into the actual charting. So there's really only two hotkeys you need to remember, and that is Y, which puts on the notes, and then J, which is like selecting things. So so right now it's set to snap to 16th notes. Let's just make that 32nd notes just in case. See, like the way that that works is like, see, you can put notes a lot closer together. So you can fit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 like within that little bar. And then if you raise it to like 64, then you could fit twice as many. So like you might think, oh yeah, I'll just set it to the highest. Like, so that's 1 out of 256, but then it's really hard to actually make them consistent because, you know, you'll be like, oh, I just want 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's like, oh, where the heck am I supposed to put it out of all that? So you don't want to like really deal with anything higher than what you have to on this. So let's see. So all you got to do is push the note. Now you can always like Control Z or Control Y, but other than that, like to be able to delete the note, you gotta like I said, hit J, which turns on the selection tool over here, and then you can just like delete it. And because like if you just try and like drag, you yeah, you'll select a whole bunch. So like, of course I could control Z, or you could just like select it and then shift select and then delete all of them. I mean, it's a pretty easy, straightforward program once you get used to it. So I'm just gonna, I don't know. I don't think I want to make this song all taps, because I mean that's a modifier. Like if you guys have played the song Starved in the Anti-Hero 2 Beach episode, that's by the same band. And since it's sort of like an electronic song, I can understand why somebody would want to like do it all taps, but I don't think I will. But let's just get started. So instead of like dragging and clicking, you click to place it and then you right click drag to make it a chord. So let's just see how long this goes. So it's not even a long note. So, okay. Sometimes if a song is really fast, the best way to like tell if you're really on the beat is to just slow down the speed up here. And you can also like change the hyper speed if you want to like spread the notes out or whatever. Okay, so those are too close together. So it's probably... yeah, so these aren't perfectly on the bar because they're sort of in threes. You want to see this difficult chart. Well, I mean, it'll be kind of difficult, I guess. I mean, it kind of depends on what your skill level is, but it'll be difficult enough that I'll enjoy playing it, because I play this song in my head all the time. Okay, so this is a weird tempo, because we might have to switch to like 24th notes. Since like these are done in threes, like if you're dealing in 4/4 time, you're gonna be dealing with like fourth, quarter notes, eighth notes, 16th notes, 32nd notes. Like that's standard 4/4. But since there's like triplets or like notes and sections of 3, you might have to switch over to 24th. So let's see. Dun, 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 dun. And so one thing you'll notice right here is that some of these notes are coming off as hammer-ons, and I don't want these to be hammer-ons, so I'm just going to click on it and hit F, which means it's forced. Forced just means that you're changing it from an automatic hammer-on to an automatic strum note, or vice versa. So like if you were to force this one, well, you couldn't, because you can't change that into a hammer-on when that one's already a strum note, but like you can change that one back or change that into it. So yeah, I want these to all be strum notes, so back to Y. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so we're kind of just flying through these. This part's pretty basic. Wait a second. Dun, 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 dun. And again, I'm going to have to go through and force a bunch of these. By the way, if there's anyone who like has any actual requests for like lessons or anything, or has any questions, I can answer them on the stream. See, when you slow these songs down, it makes them a lot easier to chart, because like if you're listening to some songs in real time, you know, they just go way too fast for you to hear every single note, and you need to hear every single note and know where to put every single note when you chart things. Okay, so here's a good trick. Since it does the same thing twice, I can just copy and paste this. So I just selected that first note. So yeah, this whole part is repeated. And then, so yeah, I shift click that, so it just selected all of the notes right there. And then I copy, you know, Control C, and then you put your cursor right on the line where you want it, Control V. Let's see how this sounds in real time. I think that a lot of this song is actually in like using 24th notes. So right here we'll go back to charting. I don't know, should I make these tap notes, or I mean, when it comes to actual guitar songs, it's easy to really decide where to put the tap notes and where to put like the hammer-ons and the strum notes, because they all sound different. But when it comes to like, you know, electronic music, you can kind of just decide however you want, like where to put what kind of note. So we'll slow it down again. I don't know, I'll just go with tap notes for now, and then we'll see how it looks later. Yeah, I want to make it consistent. Another thing you can do when you are like trying to listen for a song is to, there are certain websites that will have like tabs, like guitar tabs for music, and if you know how to read those, then it's really good to just read off of the tabs to know where to put the notes, or just guitar playthroughs. I mean, whatever resources you can find to sort of get the music right. How low does that go? Holy cow, that might go all 4 more down. Okay, so I think that it does the same thing twice in a row again. So I'll just select that, scroll up. All right, let's speed it back up to regular speed. Let's hyper speed it up. Okay, so far it looks pretty good. And there's kind of a break here. And we're already like 15% through the song. It's a pretty short song. I don't know. Should I put, like, should I chart that orchestra right here?
That's the shifting star.
Nah, I don't want to. I'll just leave it as a break. Wait a second. Does it change tempo for that whole thing? Because if there's a change in tempo, you've got to change it here too.
After searching far and searching wide, past the shifting stars and the flowing tides, the answer's not found in heaven's above. The wisdom I seek, the knowledge I bespeak, the questions profound as the declarations thereof.
Well, it still lines up with these bars, so right here. No, no tap. So slow it way back down again. Dun, 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 dun. Does it go back to 4s now? It's kind of hard to hear the the notes when it's this deep. Okay, I'm not even close. Let's just go back to normal speed. I know this song so well. So it goes dun 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 dun. Where's the note? Dun 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 dun. Okay, yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. Dun, 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 dun. Oops. Dun. Okay. I don't know, does that go? Dun, 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 dun. Doo, doo, doo. I can't tell if there's a note right there. That's what I'm really unsure about. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, I think there is. Speed it back up. You know, I should maybe like drag these out. I know it doesn't really matter much, but like, you know, just to kind of make it a little bit more accurate, I guess. Yeah, I think that's correct. Hello, Frosty. I mean, I need to like zoom in so I can see the chat better. I use like freaking massive monitors. Like, so my main screen that I'm looking at right now is a 50-inch TV, and then the other screen that I have the chat on is a 40-inch TV. So it's like, if I'm to look at the chat, my view is that way. Like, that's how far it is. It's directly over there. But yeah, I'm just going through a new chart. Yeah, I don't think there's even a sustain right there. Okay, so these two sections, so it almost repeats itself right there. It's very close, but I'm going to copy it anyway. So just Control C. Oh, so right there. It's only right here that it really changes. Alright, I really love that chorus, but it's kind of hard to hear the notes behind the vocals. Well, we got 4 viewers. We had 5 a minute ago. Asai, watch out. I can hear it in the background, but it's kind of hard to... This is gonna be tough because yeah, it's pretty hard to hear that that backing melody with the notes. What is that like? Okay, let's see if I can slow this down. Yeah, it's like a very subtle background track. Alright, I guess we'll just go for it. Dun, dun. You got a 360 Les Paul. Is GET any good? I mean, like, so the Les Pauls, they're pretty decent. Like, you just, I'm assuming that's wireless, because most of those are. So you just gotta get, like, the wireless adapter. I found a few of those at a thrift store. I bought 3 wireless 360 guitars at a thrift store a little while ago. And then they weren't all in great shape. Hi, Will. But I ended up just getting the wireless adapter and then selling all of it to my cousin. So, and he's been having decent luck with it. Like the wireless ones, I tested them out before I gave them to him. They work almost just as well as the Explorers I've got here. But I tend to prefer Explorers like this. Actually, I just got this in the mail yesterday, so I've got like 4 of these now. But I've got 3 working ones now, surprisingly. I'm getting them fixed. Dang, where'd you get 3 Explorers? Those things are like, you're lucky to find them for less than $50 on eBay, because like the shipping on them is usually like $20. Wait a second, I'm way off. Goodwills and local shops. Yeah, like every time, like there's a lot of thrift stores around me. Around here we've got a place called Deseret Industries, and there's just a whole bunch of them all over the place. And so every time I walk in, I immediately look for Guitar Hero controllers. And like you know, you'll always find like PS2 controllers or Wii controllers. Well, it's a good thing that the stream is mostly up to like accurate time so that I can actually interact with chat for once. Normally whenever I stream, I always play like a 3-hour marathon song, and so I like can't ever look at the chat. A PS2 to USB, I've never tried it, but I've heard Asai say that it's really terrible. Like basically there's no good way to get PlayStation guitars to run for Clone Hero. Like even PS4 USB guitars have issues. I've never really tried, but I'm not the expert on it. Wait a second. Yeah, I like just... Dun, 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 dun. Alright, I'm starting to get this a little better. I thought that this would make sense there, but it really doesn't. That needs to be over there. I think this is just another. I think that's what that is. Oh, I can hear this bass track way better now. It's like when I slowed the speed way down, the vocals became so distorted and unintelligible that it made it easier to hear the bass. That part sounds a little strange. Oops. So yeah, this is really only like the first part to charting a song, is just go through and put all of the notes in it. Sometimes you'll have to like change the tempo or the time signature. So like I could just click right here and then say, oh, from this point on it's going to be like 150 BPM or something if I needed to. Or from this point on it's going to switch to 7/8 or something like that. Like, of course I don't need to right here, but I've had to do that in some. Once you finish putting all of the notes in, then you're going to click on the section, and then, you know, this is how the sections work for, you know, when you go into practice mode. So for example, like right here you would say this section is the intro or something, and so it'll show up over here on this sort of timeline right here. And it's kind of nice that it shows like the sound waves of the song. And then you could say like this is the next section. We'll just call this yeah. So yeah, then you can kind of like you can separate where everything goes over here on the timeline. You gonna try the tapping challenge? Yeah, it does take a bit of actual music theory. I've done a lot of instrumental things in the past. I think when I was in like middle school, I played clarinet, and I think that that's where I got most of my actual like music theory knowledge. I guess I did play piano like as a little kid, but I don't have any idea of how much I remembered from that. But yeah, it was like clarinet and then Guitar Hero and then playing the guitar and the drums and everything else. What's a good song to get used to stretching your fingers? I mean, if you're just trying to one-hand things, if you're like a really basic beginner, I would recommend just playing the Guitar Hero 3 playlist or Guitar Hero 4, you know, World Tour. You know, any of the original Guitar Hero games, if you can go through and get like a decent score on all of those, that's when I would recommend moving on to more difficult things. Like, don't even worry about like tapping or anything until you can pretty much get 5 stars on like the whole Guitar Hero 3 playlist. Like, don't worry about Through the Fire and Flames. That one's kind of a different story. But, you know,
searching wide,
break.
past the shifting stars and the flowing tides. The answer's not.
Anyways, I don't usually put the sections in until I'm all the way done. Same with the star powers. The star powers are interesting too, because you see the star thing over here. You'll just like drag it, and then it's like, of course we all know how the star powers work. You hit all those, you get a quarter of your star power or something. And then over here it shows up as like a blue line. So if you make a really long one, it'll show up over here. So when you're done, you'll have a whole bunch of sections and a bunch of blue stripes, and then all you got to do at that point is just export it, really. Okay, back to this. So yeah, pressing Y is how you always get back to the. I know a lot of people wonder how you put open notes in this. So like, if you push like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that kind of sets a note. Because if you play in like a certain mode, like keyboard only mode, like you're just moving with the arrow key up and down and then pressing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to place the notes. But of course mouse mode is a lot easier, but still, you'll press 6. The number 6 will bring up open note mode, and then you just go back to pressing 1 through 5 again to go back to this. Do, 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 do. Yeah, I'm gonna force all of these. Should I force this whole section? Oops. Yeah, if you left click drag, you'll just make a ton of notes. What's the difference between hammer-ons and tap notes? Hammer-ons, you have to hit the note before it, whereas tap notes, it doesn't matter. So like, so with a tap note section like this, like you can just be up here tapping every single note. Like all it matters is that you're on top of the actual tap note, and it's a lot more forgiving. Whereas like, actually I don't even really have all the hammer-on sections because I keep forcing them off of that. But like right here, you can, if you strum this blue note, then you can hit the green, and if you hit the green, then you can hit the red without strumming. And if you hit the red, then you can hit the yellow without strumming. And if you hit the yellow, you can hit the red without strumming. But if you miss a note, then you gotta strum again. And that's how hammer-on solos always work. That's why it's scary to like go up here and tap during a hammer-on solo, because, you know, if you miss a note, then all of a sudden you're missing every single thing that's flying by. So you've got to get down and strum again and try and get your streak going again. No, force that. That's actually right there. And it was right there before. Wait a second. Huh. I didn't even realize. That's not quite right. Yeah, you know, I won't force these. I'll be nice. Natural. Oh yeah, so that's another thing. When you're selecting a bunch of them, like hitting natural is basically turning off the forced. So when, yeah, like I went over before, if you tap forced, it will like, so this is naturally a hammer-on note because, you know, there's a note right before it. What's the fastest note per second anyone hit? Kind of depends. When it comes to strumming, the fastest I've seen anyone hit was like maybe 60 per second, and then the fastest tapping, I think Toby did like over 100 notes in 1 second. Fastest I've ever done is maybe like 40. Okay, things are sounding good. Boom. 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 Oh, they're forced again. Yeah, like I said, in songs like this, it's hard to tell what to force and what not to. Let's make this a red. This song sounds like oddly cool at half speed, even with that ultra deep voice. How long have I been playing? Like, Guitar Hero in general, I started around 2006 or 2007. It was like a few months before Guitar Hero 3 came out. I picked up Guitar Hero 2. So this song, I wonder, do any of you guys listen to the band called Rainbow Dragon Eyes? That's what this song is. I only found them because of a few charts they have in Clone Hero. So let's just play through all that we've got right here. Could you even tell what song this was when I was when I was just doing this whole thing at 50% speed? Like, yeah, Starved is a great song. The Blade Chose Me is an amazing song. Like, this whole album, I found this album like last summer, and I probably listened to it like over 100 times last year. The whole album. Like, it's just playing on repeat in my car. Yeah. So like whenever I'm playing the notes, just to like follow along, I have to turn hyperspeed up, or else it looks so bad to me. Like, I don't understand how anyone can like follow along with this when it's this level of hyperspeed. So like I have to turn it up when I'm playing it. But yeah, when I'm charting it, it's easier to see, because like you can look further ahead when it's at this speed. Oh, nice. So like, if Clone Hero was your first time getting into it, like, yeah, how did you even like find Clone Hero? I mean, it's understandable for people who got into it back when Guitar Hero was super popular, but I feel like Clone Hero is just an underground game for people who used to play Guitar Hero, so I don't know how you managed to stumble upon it this late. To pass through the fire and flames, I made a video a couple months ago, like a whole tutorial on Through the Fire and Flames. So like, if you like the song Starved from Rainbow Dragon Eyes on the Beach episode, Carpal Tunnel Hero 2 has the song The Blade Chose Me, and that was the other song that was actually on Clone Hero before Starved, and so I pretty much picked them up both at the same time. I'm forcing all these, I don't care. They're gonna be strum notes. It's just, when every note sounds the same, it's kind of weird to make some notes considered a strum note and some being a hammer-on or a tap note. So I'm just gonna make them all strum notes. It just sounds right to me. Plus, like, when you're actually strumming melodies, it can be a lot of fun. There's another guy who charted a few songs by this same guy, by Rainbow Dragon Eyes. And basically every note in the song is a strum note. Not entirely, but there are some parts of the song where it's like full-on solos where you're actually shredding, but you have to tap, or you have to strum every note, which I've never seen before in a song, and it's pretty fun to play. And this is turning out to look just like that. Also, how was a mod chart made? So mod charts really just come down to editing a video. I mean, you got to be really good at video editing, because that's all it is. Basically, the whole concept of a mod chart is basically make all of your notes invisible, make your backboard invisible so that all you see is a background video, and then you've got to edit an entire video. I mean, part of the video is just like showing the notes normally, but then you're like editing it or doing whatever to it, you know. So like, yeah, mod charting is more about video editing. Like, of course you've got to make the chart still, because like, even though the notes are invisible and you're just watching the video to hit the notes, like the notes are still there. But yeah, it takes some extreme dedication to make a mod chart. But like, you can just take a recording of the song being played and then edit that video to whatever you want it to be, and that's how mod charts are probably made. Alright, back to half speed. That's an actual Oh. The reason I stream on YouTube is just because this is where all my subscribers are. I mean, it's kind of hard to announce to your whole YouTube audience, like, okay, everyone follow this link over onto Twitch. And, you know, it's kind of nice that I can just have all of my subscribers know that I'm streaming over here. And it's nearly impossible to get noticed on Twitch because... you know, people are only going to look at Guitar Hero streamers if they know that their favorite person is streaming, I guess. And so, like, since I don't have a good way of, like, announcing it to everybody, this is just more simple, I guess. And, I mean, I don't really see how streaming on YouTube is any worse than Twitch anyway, so... can probably be blue notes. Some of this I can copy paste, but I'm not sure what. Okay. Oh, man, I keep... Oh, what the heck? How do you place open notes? You just press the number 6, and then, yeah, it becomes a thing. Honestly, I don't really like open notes that much. I was kind of raised on Guitar Hero 3, so like the open notes just seem so awkward to me. Like I've gotten a lot better with Clone Hero. I can actually play a lot of open note patterns, but I still just don't really like them, and they still just, I think they look ugly on a chart. Okay, now I want to show you guys something cool that you can do with this program also. So they actually allow you to play along with songs in this program. So like if I just, you know, put it up to normal speed, put hyper speed up. So like if I just push the start button right here, you'll get to test it out.
Searching far and searching wide, past the shifting stars and the flowing tides.
The only thing that makes this more difficult than actual Clone Hero, though, is like the hitboxes are a little more strict, I guess. I don't want to see how this part plays. it seems to be good so far. It's kind of interesting that you can just like see your percentage and your streak and all that. But I honestly think it's a lot harder to play in this, partially because the hit window is smaller and also just because you're not used to the graphics quite as much. Wait a second. That is... Sometimes things sound much different in slow motion than they do in the full speed. I should probably make these orange notes so I have somewhere to descend to. Yeah, this is Moonscraper. So for this whole tap section, I'm thinking I'm just gonna make them hammer-ons instead, because they don't sound like tap notes, I would say. So I'll just put them to hopos. I mean, it's kind of funny that they're called hopos. It stands for hammer-on pull-off, because like when it comes to a real guitar, like you can just hit the string, and if you hit it just right, then you can actually create a note. And I mean, that's how tap notes are. Like you're just tapping the notes and you're actually making noise with it. But when it comes to hammer-ons, like you can strum a note, and with the vibrations on the string, you can sort of move to a different fret and keep the vibrations going and just change the note. And then you can also like lift off of them or pull off of them and go back to another. So really all it is like a hammer-on is going up, and then pull off is letting go of notes and having those register. And from what I understand, on Guitar Hero 1, you could do hammer-ons, but pull-offs didn't really make any, like, you couldn't pull off and have that register. So I'm kind of glad I haven't played Guitar Hero 1, because it looks like really hard. Guitar Hero 2 was bad enough, but Guitar Hero 1 I hear is even worse. Oh. Man, why am I... Sometimes you don't want to descend too quickly. I would say Clone Hero is the best Guitar Hero game ever made. Like, I have Guitar Hero 3 right here. Actually, it's not going to work right now because you have to have the disc to play it, and currently my disc drive is not connected. Like, it's not even plugged to the motherboard right now for weird reasons. But like, the actual modding of Guitar Hero 3 was such a pain. Trying to like add songs and put them into the game was a pain. And also the engine wasn't as capable in a lot of ways. Like, you couldn't even do stuff like here, let me just draw it. Like, you couldn't even do stuff like this in Guitar Hero 3. If you like strummed this, then it would automatically break this. You also couldn't even like have other notes that you would hit while holding a chord in Guitar Hero 3. Guitar Hero Live is just... It was just not that great. I didn't really play it that much, mostly just like at a Microsoft demo. And it was like, instead of having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it was like 1, 2, 3, and then also another 1, 2, 3, but next to each other. And it looked terrible on the screen. It was just bad in every way. All right, let's get through this. I'm taking too long right here. I like it when I hear a section and I just know exactly what to put there. Do, 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 do. Can you do a time stretch with the song speed? I don't really understand the question. We can see how the song's in ×2 speed. Yeah, unintelligible. I don't know what's wrong with Guitar Hero 3 practice mode. I don't think they're much different. Bing. So this part's just kind of repeating itself again. Doesn't auto restart. Oh, yeah, the practice mode, all of the sections restart automatically, and you can even push a button to restart it whenever you want to. Do I have any tips for breaking plateaus in progress? You know, that's something that I have an issue with in everything I do except Guitar Hero for some reason. So what he's saying is like plateaus in progress is where you're getting better every day, but then you hit a point where you can't get any better. Every day you play, you're playing the same thing and you're just not really getting it. That happened to me with StarCraft 2. I got into like Masters League and like I was just playing 12 hours a day and I just could not get into Grandmaster. It happened to me with snowboarding. You know, I was going off like 30-foot jumps, but I just could not go up to like 40-foot jumps. And it happened to me with drumming because I could double bass kick at 200 BPM, but like 210 was slightly too fast, and I did it for like a year straight and just could not get any faster. But when it comes to Guitar Hero, I always just push myself, really. And I would say I plateaued back when I played Guitar Hero 3 because there weren't enough songs. But with Clone Hero, there's so many songs that if you get frustrated or stuck on something, you can just go play another song. So like, if all you had was Guitar Hero 3 and you got really good, but the only hard song there is to play is Through the Fire and Flames, like, you're gonna get sick of it. And if you can't FC Through the Fire and Flames, but that's all you have to play, then you're just gonna get burnt out and you're not gonna want to play anymore. But when you have like thousands of songs, you're like, well, I don't want to play Through the Fire and Flames, but I want to play something maybe even harder. And if you're just playing stuff harder and harder, or even like speed a song up and then come back to it, like, you're gonna notice a difference in how good you are. Like, you can get good at a song by not playing that song. You can get good at that song by playing other songs and then coming back to it. That's why almost every time I play a song, I get a high score, because, you know, if you play through a set list of like 100 songs and then you restart, you play through those 100 songs again, you're going to get a high score on pretty much all of them, because you're going to be better from playing those 100 songs. So I'd say just switch it up, try different things. Play my tapping challenge songs. Those are actually really good for learning patterns, or just pick sections that you need to work on. I mean, there's lots of ways you can really practice this game, even like outside the game. Can you speed up songs in Guitar Hero 3? No, not in the game at least. You'll even see set lists in Guitar Hero 3 where it's like, you know, Through the Fire and Flames at 125% speed. That's like the name of the song, because you had to like manually do that. I always forget. This forced thing is weird. Usually I'll just go back late, like after the whole thing, and then force them all, but I'm just doing it as I go. So it goes dun, doo, 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 doo. So this is something that you might run into a lot if you tried charting something, is like, so you generally want to keep it balanced, so you have like high notes to low notes over here. So like in this case it goes dun, dun, dun. So from hearing dun dun dun, you'll assume, okay, there's some big gaps between those notes, so you want to go 5 3 1. But then right here, it's that same note as the 5, so you'll think like, okay, we'll just dun, 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 dun. But then after that note, you have a higher note, and you can't go like up to a 6th fret. That song, the 6th fret. So you've got to like sort of, you've got to move it over. Because yeah, right here, dun dun dun. Dun, 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 dun. Wow, we made it through this whole section. Is it possible to hit the first section where you tap every green note? I mean, nothing's impossible, but that just adds a lot more effort. There's really no point in tapping all the green notes. Let me see. So right here, it starts to pick up again, and I know what to try. No, so I'm honestly, I'm just gonna copy copy the intro to right here, because that yeah, it starts to replay that. So this is something that's been bothering me. For some reason I'm like a quarter measure behind on this time signature. It probably has something to do with the break right here. Yeah, this break. Let's just put a new section. So in order to do this, I'm going to just go right here and change the time signature from right here to 3/4. Oh wait, is that right? And then change it back to 4/4 right there. Let's see how that
looks. After searching far and searching wide.
Let's see how that looks when it comes back now. Alright, now that's much better. Yeah, that was bothering me. So like what I'm talking about is you see this white bar, that's like that's the beginning of a new measure, and before it was like right here, so I was kind of like starting a measure behind. So I had to just, I mean, it was only like a quarter measure actually, because you can see the white line. So this is 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. So the white line is the 1. And right here this was like a 4, and then the 1 was right here. So what I did was I just cut out a quarter measure by setting right here to a 3/4 instead of a 4/4. So it just go 1 2 3 and then 1 2 3 4. So it didn't change anything, even like the tempo or anything on the song, but you know, I'm even gonna force these ones, these little chords here. I don't know, this is just like, when you play this so much, you kind of just get a feeling for everything. Like, these parts can stay hammer-ons. So this is something that I think is really awesome about Guitar Hero. It gives you a way to follow along with music that you can't necessarily play like on a real instrument. Because like, I don't know if you guys are familiar with, like, if you are really good at an instrument and you can just follow along with every note, even on really fast stuff, you know, you're playing every note in your head and you're like tapping along with it. And Guitar Hero gives people like sort of one of the easiest musical instruments a way to, you know, follow along with music. Because even just being able to follow along with it is a lot of fun. It kind of gives the thrill of almost like being able to play it. Because playing a fast song is kind of like driving a fast car. Because, like, you know, you've got a whole set of things you've got to keep up with, and you got to have reflexes, and you know, you just got to have it all in your mind when you're going through it. And playing Guitar Hero gives you a way to sort of simulate driving that car. Listening to music is like watching the car drive by, but if you're following along and playing along with it, then you're basically putting yourself in the driver's seat of the song. So like when you just listen to me like singing along with the beat here, that's me just sort of like, that's how I picture following along with the song. Now we get to the new part. Oh wait, didn't. Yeah, I can just like, let's just copy this. Ooh, now we're getting to the fun part. So now we're moving from legato to staccato. And for anyone who doesn't know what that means, like, legato is how I would picture hammer-ons, you know, where every note just kind of bleeds into each other, where you go like... So when you're singing along with it, you're going like very soft tones. But then staccato is where it's more like t and k. You know, there are a lot more sharp attack notes. Hop off the stream tonight, going to school tomorrow, have fun with... Man, all the schools were canceled, like a whole bunch of schools were canceled around here today because it was like a massive snowstorm, which rarely happens around here because we always get lots of snow. So time to go with forced notes again. Actually, let's just copy this, but edit it because there's a lot of reasons to... Oh, by the way, the difference between natural... Well, natural doesn't necessarily mean strum or unstrum. Natural just means you're forcing it, or you're just letting it do what it's going to do. So, like, if you put... notes close to each other, naturally they are going to be hammer-ons, which, you know, they've got the white glow to it. So like you can just hammer on. But if you force them, it means you are forcing them to be strum notes. But it also works the other way around. Like if you have notes that are way apart from each other, if you force them, then you can make them hammer-ons. So yeah, forcing them just makes them do the opposite of what's natural. Yeah, ice storm. By the way, I'm over in like Salt Lake City, so over in Utah we get quite a bit of snow. So where does everybody else live that you're getting snow? Was anybody in like the polar vortex? Omaha. This is getting interesting. Seems like everybody's around central US. So let's see. For a second here, let's just pull up where everybody's at. See, I'm over here in Salt Lake. So yeah, Southern Ontario, that's definitely polar vortex. Tennessee, lots of snow. Nebraska. So yeah, everybody seems to be around here, but we've been just getting ridiculous amounts of snow lately. Virginia. And we're gonna have to slow this way down again because this is starting to get more technical. Yay. Da-da. I think that this is in 24th notes. Yeah, this was during like the weird stuff. So we'll go back into the 24ths. Okay, so it's kind of like switching between two patterns here. Let's just delete a lot of this. So this is really strange because it's like doing it on the early beat right here. And then puts a note right here. There's actually two notes right here. Everybody's still in high school. I'm sure I've mentioned it sometime in the past, but can anybody guess how old I am? Just by how I look, how old would you guys think that I am? '23, 22. Oh, okay, so everyone's in college. That makes a little more sense. I'm 24. Yeah, I could probably still, like, walk into a high school and not get in trouble. I mean, I'm not going to try it, but it's kind of nice that I can still pull off looking younger than I am. Whoa, what is this? Okay, so that means all of this is moot. Man, sometimes I get a little bit too technical with how accurate I want these to be. Because then, like, I'll change one thing because I think it looks a little bit off, and then I've got to go through and change that same thing on a whole bunch of other parts. Because this is actually dun dun dun. And why is that? And it's funny because, like, you'll be charting these things for a long time, and you'll think, man, I'm making such great progress, but then you realize how fast the song is, and then you're just like, all the progress I thought was a lot was actually like 1 second worth of the song. So yeah, some of these songs have a lot that goes into them. Like, we're about 60% into it. There's only been 752 notes. It's been taking a long time because I'm more just like talking with the chat the whole time. Do I play Fortnite? No, I've never played Fortnite. Yeah, I mean, the Solus series. So something I learned from making like the tapping challenges is when you are writing everything in FL Studios, which is where most likely Solus was written. Most electronic music is written in FL Studios. It's just a easy program to write in. You are basically charting it already. So like once you put it into Moonscraper, you already know exactly what you're going to make. And since songs like this, like I said, are electronic, they're perfectly on the beat. It's pretty easy to know where to put everything. Like here, let me just show you. Ooh, okay. So I'll just show you. Like, this is what Pattern Challenge 2 looks like. So all you do is like so pattern 1 right here that I just put a whole bunch of times, that's just the backing track. So if we just played it from, so that all you got to do is make like a background like a beat to it, and then you can add a bass. So like the bass even was pretty easy. It's just, I think this is like an arpeggiator, but this is what it sounds like. So yeah, it's very easy to make like a drum beat and then a background bass track. But when it came down to it, it's these piano rolls. Oops. So like you just make a whole bunch of notes, and so you, when I was writing this, I already knew like, okay, this is gonna be like it's like, all right, I'm just composing a trill right here. And so once you put it into Guitar Hero, everything is already perfectly on the lines. And so you already know exactly where to put everything. Anyway, that's just kind of an example of what FL Studios looks like. And when you're creating a song just to put in Clone Hero, it usually makes it a lot easier to chart. Whoa. Is that supposed to do that? There's like no notes right there. What the heck is going on there? Let me hear what it sounds like full speed. Okay, so there is sort of a break right there. But there is a note like right there. Back to half speed. Doot, doot, doot. Put opens notes there? No, there's no notes. It's just yeah, it's just part of the drums. It's not even part of like the synth. Do 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 do. So I just always move these back, move that one forward, cut that in half, and then add another note. Man, now I'm gonna have to go back and fix that on all of these. Let me just see how this all looks. You know, there was a little bit of legato right there. second. Gotta go. Don't forget to sub to PewDiePie. Don't worry, I'm subbed to PewDiePie 5 times. Man, I have like very short-term memory loss. Like, I'm trying to like make it consistent, and I'll like chart something and I'll need to keep charting that same thing again, and I'll keep forgetting exactly how I just did it. I need to just like copy and paste a little better here. Oh. What the heck? That's close enough. I just gotta fill that gap. I know I did this once earlier. What did I do? What is all this doing here? That's a weird transition. I think that's where it switches back into 4/4 time. Slow it even slower. somewhere in between. This is actually amazing because, you know, like I was saying before, when you slow it down this much, the vocals become completely completely distorted. You can't recognize them at all, but the synth in the background actually stays fairly coherent. Like, listen to the vocals. They like but you could still hear the synth perfectly. This is great. Because, yeah, when I was doing that, A Dark Horizontal, the song that I just uploaded a couple days ago, that one, there was a part in it that I really just could not hear the guitar part behind the vocals. It was just, the guitar was too quiet. Let me see what this sounds like normally, because I love this part. This is probably my favorite part of the entire song, but it's like, it's too hard. Like, the melody right here is so random that I still don't even like have it down. So this is going to be like the one part of the song that I'm not prepared for. Because I'm too focused on the vocals normally. Okay. Here, I'll even just put that as a green note. Oops, not a tap note. See, this is what I'm talking about when you gotta leave some room on the top. So like right here, I thought, you'd think, oh, that's a high note, we'll go to the orange. But then you go up to even higher, so it means you gotta make some room. And that gets even higher. So what you really what you do when you run into that, when you're trying to ascend too high, is you just start over. So you go, let's just call that an orange, and then you just say that this red is higher than this orange. Okay. Dun 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 dun. Dun. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun. Huh. Okay, I'll move those back. Well, we're making it through this song. I'll probably end up just making a release video for this tomorrow. And I'll include the download link tomorrow. Wait a second, what was that then? I'm gonna have to move this over here because that's got to be an orange note. There's no. This has to be an orange note. Okay, I just charted that whole thing straight through. Let's see what it's like at full speed. I like that a lot. And then back to the intro. Just move all of this down. Maybe I can control X. Sweet. So yeah, this isn't the same little short one measure pattern over and over again. That's what it is. So there's multiple reasons you should copy and paste. For one, it makes it so well, it saves a lot of time rather than going through doing it over and over again. And another thing is you can make it more consistent, because it's going to be weird if like the person's playing through the song, they play a section, and then they play that same section of the song like later, and it comes up multiple times, but every time in the song it's different. It just doesn't look right. Where you're gonna post it when it's finished? Yeah, I'll just make a YouTube video tomorrow, and this live stream will probably go up on my channel. Usually the live streams I make don't work because they have like too many copyright strikes. Like the friggin' Dragon Force medley I played on stream once, I tried to upload it. Like I tried to just make it a video, but it was like, you have 72 copyright strikes on this song. And I actually managed to get that one to stay, because it was like, well, you can mute the 6 songs that caused it to be blocked, and then those ones will be muted. The rest will just demonetize, but this channel's not even monetized yet anyway, so it doesn't matter. Man, yeah, I should probably go back and do that part that I skipped out on. So right here, I know I do want to just put this whole long stretch. Yeah, I'll at least like stretch it out. Like, as much as I want to just start doing the bass part already, I want this held out, this sustained note to actually feel cool. So there is, I am going to chart the bass part that is going on right here, but we got to slow it down. So what is that? This one's a little bit harder to hear because it's more of a bass and it's blending in with the vocals. This part's gonna be tricky. Oh, that's way off. Alright, I'm starting to hear it a little bit better. I wish there was a way to like move and delete notes without having to shift modes, because like when you're right here, If I right click the note, it's just going to do that. If I try and click on the note, it doesn't get rid of it. Like, there's no way to delete or move notes when you're in the note placing. You've got to switch to the selection to be able to click it and delete it or move it. And you know, I think that these are even inverted. I mean, they could be yellow, I don't care. Oh. Wait, is that? No, that's not that what that is. Yeah, this actually this. I can't believe it's taken me this long to figure this out, but I'm pretty sure I've already charted this earlier in the song. Look at that. Wow, why did it... Hold on, if I listen to this at full speed, I'll be able to tell if they're exactly the same. So where is it? Back here. Is that the same? Okay, so they're not exactly the same. They're similar. I'm surprised there have been so many people sticking through this whole stream. Don't worry, guys. We're almost finished with the note placement, at least. This is gonna be done soon. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Oops, those do not go there. This is another one of my favorite little parts. Dun. It's funny that in order to chart this, I have to like play it in my head the way that I would chart it if I was just listening to it. Dun, 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 dun. the whole song. Another way, like, if it's very similar, but it's not exactly the same, it's still good to copy it and then just trace over it. Switched back. This is what it sounds like in real time. That's the whole song. I'm going to go through it and make sure I like how all of the hammer-ons and tap notes and everything looks, because I did do a lot of forced notes and I'm pretty sure there's some that are glitched out, but this is a full trial run.
Searching far and searching wide, past the shifting stars and the flowing tides.
No, I won't change anything. We'll just watch through the whole thing first. I already want to like take a look at a couple parts. Sorry guys, you won't get to play this until tomorrow. I'm gonna do a bunch of finishing touches on here. There's a few things I still need to change. So this time I'm actually gonna like stop it wherever I see an error. I don't know, maybe I'll get this just... See, every time there's... Oh, what? Ah, crap. I don't know. Maybe once I'm finished, I still got a few more things to do. Even once I finish this, I got to add the star power, add the sections, test it out in the game, do a bunch of stuff. Yeah, this has been bothering me every time I see it. Missed a note. It's kind of funny, once you like get really into charting stuff, there are some times where I'll be playing a song that somebody else charted, and I'll see a part where I'll think like, man, I really would have charted that differently. And sometimes I'll just like close the game, open their chart in this, like change their chart, and then start the song over because I didn't like the way they made it, and I wanted to do it my own way. I mean, there's nothing stopping you from doing that. I mean, you just have your own sort of personalized chart. Man, I wish I could make money doing this, because like I love doing it. It's just, it's kind of a thankless job. Like you'll just download a playlist of 400 songs and be like, well, that's cool, but you don't think that to make 400 songs probably took like 1,000 hours. Oh yeah. I hated the look of going 5, 4, 2, 1 right there. It needs to be 5, 4, 3, 1. And then this has to be 4, 3, not 3, 2. Same with this. There's another one. There's another one. Is there 2 notes right there? Okay, there is. Kind of sounds just like one. Okay, so these can be hammer-ons, that's okay. But we'll make this a... See, this is the section I was really worried about the most, because there's like, they're either both hammer-ons or they're both not. Yeah, why not? I'll just make that a hammer-on. We'll make that a... I think that's fine. Oh, here we go again. Hold on, what was that? Yeah, we'll give that to him. Alright, I think I've got this down right, so now I'm just gonna add some more sections. Yeah, it's always fun to chart your own music. Or, well, I don't know if you're talking about like just charting a song or charting a song that you wrote. Yeah, it can take a while if you're wanting to like write a song for this, but... So, new section right here. I don't know what this is. Verse 1. Hey, I'm not gonna get too specific with these sections. Chorus 1. Like sometimes if it's like a really technical song, you'll break it down like every little piece. You'll be like verse 1A, verse 1B, and make it like really short sections, but... Bridge 1. So wait, what did verse 1 say? I'm going to call this verse 2, even though it sounds about the same. Okay. This is chorus 2. This part's fun. Nah, that's not even a section. Actually, this is more like bridge 2, not a verse. Actually, not ending, outro. Alright, pretty simple. Doesn't need to be a whole bunch of sections. It's only a 3-minute, 6-second song. Charting from guitar input. I mean, yeah, it would be easier if you had individual guitar tracks like they did in the original Guitar Hero games. So like when you look at song properties, there's song audio, which, I mean, if you only have the song, then this is what you do. But if you have like song audio, but then you have each track on their own, then it's really nice to just be able to chart by only hearing that. Which, by the way, I should probably save this. I haven't saved this at all yet. Don't want to lose 2.5 hours worth of work. Now all I gotta do is add star powers. So when it comes to star power, I've really never heard anyone make a rule about how much star power to put in a song, but I tend to go overboard and put too many star powers. So what I would say is like put about 3 per minute. That's the number I like to do. So since this song is 3 minutes long, I'll do 9 star powers. So, and some can be short, some can be long. So this one will just be like. We'll even make that include this chord so you can get a bit of whammy. So anytime we pass another 20-second threshold, yeah, we'll just put one right here since I won't be able to put one during that whole break. So yeah, you can see these little blue things that show up over here. It's funny because this over here is what makes the song start to look a lot more developed and complete. But this is stuff that I only ever put at the very, like once I'm done making the whole song. Yeah, let's put a short one right there. Alright, so I've gotten 3 in the first minute. How does that look? You know, make that one. That one was at 123. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You know, I really just want to put one right here. Just because I think it would be awesome to have the lightning strike right there too. Because like, this is like the most climactic part of this whole song. So you want like the lightning strike to happen right there if they hit it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I only need one more star power in this song. And since it's almost over, you never want to put any like in the last, you know, the last 10 seconds of the song either, because, you know, you have to have time to use it. So we'll just put it right here. Actually, all right. Difficulty rating. You know, I'm not really sure how that works right now. I mean, difficulty, I don't know, like what would this be, like a 5? That's one thing that never seems to show up correctly when I try it. So yeah, you want to look at this, make sure that you have the right amount of star powers and that everything is spaced out well. You don't want to have too many star powers close together or something like that. Okay, now the whole thing is finished. Hooray. So what you do once you got it finished is you go down to export. You make sure you generate song as ini.ini. Then you'll hit export. And yeah, then you'll just make a file called notes. That's all you need. Okay, then you'll open up Clone Hero Secret Mirror. So I technically don't even need this secret mirror thing because these are both the same. At this point you can close that. And yes, you do want to save the unsaved changes. So you'll have notes, the song file, the .ini file. There's one other thing I'll want to add. Here, I'll pull it from Antihero Beach episode. Starved is from tier 12. So this is what like an official song looks like. So we'll just copy over the album. So yeah, you'll just have it called Song Notes Guitar Album. So the album is the album cover. So this is the album cover. And So then we can look at the .ini, so it's going to show up as The Secret Mirror, Rainbow Dragon Eyes, The Secret Mirror is the album, Chiptune, Charter is me. So difficulty guitar, let's put that as a 5. And then there's preview start time. It's a very weird number, because look, the song length is 186,789. Now it's I don't even really know what exactly that's counting, but you can just say let's start the preview time at like 60,000 or something. It should be fine. There are other things you can add. Like let's look at this ini. Song length, playlist track, preview end time, preview start time. Oh. Huh. So I guess you can decide how long you want the preview to go. The album track, that doesn't matter. Charter. Yeah, so they put the difficulty guitar as 5. Anyways, let's save this. You guys want to see what a chart looks like in Notepad? So this is what a Guitar Hero song looks like in Notepad. It's basically saying like at this position there's a note at 4, probably like blue. Or right here there's a note at 1536. I don't know, but this is what a chart looks like in Notepad, like the code for it that the game reads. That's what it looks like. Anyways, so this looks like it's all good. So I'm just going to copy this into my songs folder in the game files. So I just have a custom songs with all my songs on it. The Secret Mirror. And now let's test it out. So of course you got to go through and do scan songs. Let me see, is that gonna be okay? Now let's just go down to my custom songs section. Let's see if it's there. I really hope it's there, because when it's not there, I don't know what to do. The Secret Mirror, there it is. Okay. Here, I will move my picture away. So yeah, there's the picture up there. Now let's play it. So we got lead guitar, expert. I never make other difficulties, though I don't think it would be hard.
Searching far and searching wide, past the shifting stars.
It's so good to be done with the song.
The answer's not found in the heavens above. The wisdom I seek, the knowledge I bespeak. The questions profound as the declarations thereof. Relinquish me and rid me of this curse. Release me and take yourself. It's only getting worse. From with this content I lie awake, writing the stories of the world I take. In
warmed up. Alrighty, it's all done. I think there was one thing on that I didn't like too much. Let me see if this is it. Yeah, that's it. I'm just gonna open it back up here and change one little thing. I just need to make one note a hammer on, or a couple notes a hammer on. Oh yeah, once I move it over. Yeah, sometimes when you move the folders around, it loses the audio track that goes with it. You just gotta find it again. And then it all matches back up. So it was around... Yeah, so... These need to be forced. Yeah, that seems good. And then you can just save it and it'll save right up. So I'm just gonna make a send to a compressed folder. Secret mirror. And I'll upload a link in the chat here shortly. Alright, I'm posting a link to my custom songs folder, my Google Drive. So if you click on that, you should be taken to a folder with all of the songs that I've charted. Well, Battlestorm I didn't chart, I just converted that from Guitar Hero 3. But the Secret Mirror is there, it's the last one on the list. Oh man, thanks to anybody who sat through all this. I have to go to the bathroom. So hopefully this all gets uploaded just fine and ends up on on the channel and everyone can see how I made the song. So and on that note, it's time to end the stream.